Good evening, everyone. Damien speaking here live from London, Wimbledon. Today with new equipment, with new equipment, and about the same topic like usual, about outbound calling and how you can improve your skills in outbound calling, and specifically why you shouldn't be afraid of outbound calling. So, if you like my content, please subscribe and also hit the notification button so I know that it's worth your time and I'm helping you with my content. Yeah, so today will be about the rejection, about how to deal with rejection, how to deal with the fact that we do not, when we outbound call customers, when we cold call them, even with warm customers, it's the same. We do sometimes not achieve the goal which is set up at the beginning of the call. So if our goal is to achieve an appointment, it will happen many times, quite often, that a customer will say no. So he will actually reject us and will say that he's not available for a call for that on another reason. And because there are not many skillful cold callers out there, so if people who do not understand the basics of of phone communication, of communication on the phone, the hit rate, which means the average rate of yes calls, which means for customers who are saying yes and who you can close so you can achieve the setup appointment, is usually lower as by people who are like skilled in cold calling. And therefore people like are fearful because they are experiencing a lot of rejection. So let's say someone is not a skillful cold caller, and someone who has a hit rate of 10-1, I would consider to not be as skillful on the phone. Just someone who doesn't know how to lead a conversation, how to address the subconscious questions which the customer does always have when we cold call them. So this is someone, and after 5 calls, possibly the reaction might be, and many people are reacting that way, is that you just stop calling, like do something else like admin, Excel spreadsheets, like I have to write an email or 10 emails. Oh no, I will stop prospecting with calls. Actually, I find email much more effectful, or I will go and I will do it with LinkedIn and whatever kind of stuff. But in the area of B2B, you can't be that convenient. You can't switch to another prospect channel because you need to qualify the prospect, which means you need to ask qualifying questions about what the possible project is about, what the need is about, what's the main challenge within the company of the prospect, and how he fits into this whole picture, what's his authority, how much influence on the decision-taking process he does have, or also the time frame, the budget, all these questions which you usually must ask the customer in order to have a qualified conversation, so you know that it's worth your time to spend on this particular customer and on this particular case. So there will be no such thing like an email or LinkedIn which can replace a conversation with a customer. And therefore you are lying to yourself if you think that prospecting will work only with automation, only with emails, or only with LinkedIn. So finally, what does it mean for you as someone who is working in the area of sales and you are reaching out to prospects? You will have to develop skills how to call people, and you will have to deal with rejection, because it happens to me. Either I'm like for 3 years now calling customers, and I consider myself to be really quite skillful. It happens to me that I just get a no. So for example, because there is no need at the moment, or there are so many projects going on that they really need to wait until having another conversation for something new. And this happens. So this happens, or just the right person is not available. Many reasons. So what helps with dealing with rejection? Obviously, it's like a mental thing. So you can tell yourself, okay, it's just rejection. I'm not dying from it. So this is like the common things which we possibly can say to ourselves in order to swallow a no call and then to move on with another call, and not being like resentful, angry, frustrated, because this is what actually can happen to many people. As I was at the beginning of my cold calling career, I have been asked during interviews, how do I deal with rejection? How do I deal with frustration? And this was a justified question, because at the very beginning of my career, I still think, because I was reading all these books about cold calling, I was possibly better than an average candidate, but I had to deal with much more rejections at the moment. So you have to deal with that. But on the other hand, I have been explaining in another video that there are different types of prospects. That they are like 10% of prospects, possibly 10, this is an estimated value, 10% of prospects who just are interested in the topic you want to talk about. And these are the customers who, even if you're not a skillful caller and you don't lead the conversation with questions, and you just don't have a clue how to do it in a proper way, you will still get them to an appointment, to the result, or you can close them even with your product if you make a call and you closing deals on the phone. So you are able to do it even with a lower level of skill, just because this customer is, particularly from his point of view, actually interested in the solution you are offering. Yeah, either it might be like IT security or storage or whatever kind of product you want to sell, and you have in mind, like refrigerators. You can think about anything. So it is important to know the numbers. Statistics helps to overcome rejection. So what I mean by that, usually if someone is not skillful, and let's say his hit rate is 1 to 10, he has 10 calls, and on average, like let's say he has 1,000 calls, and when he's breaking down this number, he discovers that having done 1,000 calls, let's say within 3 months or within 6 months, whatever kind of time frame you might consider, he has done 100 closes. So he did like 100 appointments, and this is a hit rate from 1 to 10. So even if he had bad times in between, like 2 months or maybe 1.5 months or 3 weeks without any yes, it all together, considering this time frame, his average is 1 to 10. It's just to understand, and then it's very easy for you to overcome this fear of rejection, because every time when you're calling and the prospect is saying no to you, that there will be another prospect. But with every call, you are increasing the possibility and the probability of a yes call. Yeah, and if it's not happening for a longer time, you're having 15, 16 calls with a no. Then, because the average is like 1 to 10, it's what usually happens. What will happen to you, because this is the average, is that you will have 2 yeses, one after another, or you will have a no 15 times. Then you will have a yes, then a no, and then yes, and then again 15 times no. So crucial for you to know your numbers and to understand that because of that, and because there are people outside who are looking actually into the solution you want to offer them, you will be able to close customers, and you will have a success rate. So which should give you confidence in the fact that cold calling is nothing which you should be afraid of. You should be like, you can go into the cold call, you can do your statistics, you can do your calls, and as many calls as you do, as you increase the number of your calls, this will increase your success rate. And on the top of that, it's to mention that if you do your homework and if you train your cold calling capabilities, you are just doing your research, you're learning your books, you're reading your books with the right mentor, you possibly do an audiobook like I did, and afterwards you do a training, your rate to achieve the result, the yes result, will level up, will increase dramatically. I said it before in another video that they are like 80% of so-called no yes customers. Those are customers who are just not used, or they don't want to have a cold call. So at the beginning, on the personal level, they are rejecting us. But after overcoming like 1, 2, maybe 3 objections, they are finally like breaking in, and because they realize that we are acting on behalf of them for their benefit. So because of that, they are finally agreeing to an appointment or even to a sale on the call, and they are signing up for whatever kind of stuff we want to sell them. And this will then dramatically increases the rate of yes calls comparing to no calls, which is an awesome experience. This is actually how you create confidence, and how you can get better and better, and how you can get excited about getting on the phone, because when you get a customer on the call, this will be a 50-50 ratio of a yes to a no. I think I'm at the ratio at the moment. Yeah. Every second call is an appointment. Just to get them on the phone. It's like, this is the topic, which is difficult. So yes, this is from my side the topic of no calls and yes calls, and why you should treat a no call just as a milestone to a yes call. You should be happy about the no, because there will be another no, another no, another one. There will be a yes, because this is the law of average. I don't know, the law of average. Yeah, and that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining this video. If you like the content, please hit the like button. Yeah, so I know that you like what I'm teaching you here. And thank you very much, and speak to you soon in another video. I think I will go in the next videos to particular objections. Thank you very much. Goodbye.